Hey everybody, welcome to Sex Talk with T Gray. It is Take It Back Tuesday. And so you guys, I know everybody is always used to having that throwback Thursday, but I decided to flip that and we're going to have Take It Back Tuesday. We're taking it back to our first times tonight, you guys. I know everybody has a fantastic first time story. And here tonight with me to share one of their interesting first time stories. You guys may have seen him on Comedy Central. You may have seen him on Heart of the City by Kevin Hart. And if not, you probably seen him blowing up your timeline with some of the funniest skits. Comedian Rey Gibbs is in the building tonight. Come on in, Rey Gibbs.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? How you doing, T?
I'm good. Welcome to Sex Talk with T Gray. We on here coordinated, not even on purpose.
Yeah, you already know.
Ain't nobody put out the white team memo on them.
That's like unity. That's what that is.
That's what that is. I thought we was gonna be trapping when we got finished. We're not gonna be trapping.
Huh?
I said I thought we was gonna be trapping when we got finished. We ain't gonna go serve nobody when we get there.
Oh no, I got kids. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I'm gonna have them out there doing anything right now. Get out there, son, and get that money.
But anyway, thank you so much for hopping in with me tonight. I definitely appreciate it. So it is Take It Back Tuesday. We're going to take it back to some of our best times, some of our worst times, and including our first time.
Oh yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
That's a story that a lot of people hold on to. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one of those memories, one of those things that people absolutely never forget. You can ask somebody in their 80s and 90s about their first time and they still go, oh girl, let me tell you, they still remember. I think it's probably one of the most memorable aspects of our sex life.
This is true.
Let's get that first time story going. I would love to know.
You would not believe this. My first time was actually with a white girl.
Okay.
Yeah, my first time was actually with a white girl. I had my family just moved out the hood. We just moved out the hood. I was like 16, you know what I'm saying? Moved out. I was in high school and I moved to like a whole white neighborhood and the white girls seem to love the Negroes out here, as you could imagine. I mean, this white girl would bring me breakfast, lunch, make sure I was good. She'd bring my mother stuff, everything. It was amazing. She was like a servant. I mean, she was the best slave ever. I didn't even ask for her. Whatever I wanted, she would do. All right, the best slave you could ask for. I mean, yes or no, sir.
So yeah, politically correct for me to laugh at that, but that's funny as hell.
Yeah, it was great though. It was great. The crazy thing about it too, I was so like in my whole, I'm thinking I'm the man. It wasn't even her first time. She already did it. I'm like, what? I'm over here like I'm the virgin. You're not.
So how was the experience? Was it good, bad, and different? Did you feel like you learned a little something since she was more experienced than you were?
I felt like I was more experienced than she was, and it was my first time. Really, I did. You know what I mean? She was quite smaller than me. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. You can't see how tall I am. I'm about 6'3", damn near 6'4". So she was quite smaller than me. So it was kind of a dominant situation, should I say?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for the most of it.
What was your biggest takeaway from your first time, or what did you take from it that after that you applied it to your next time?
Well, the first thing I took away from it was like I could do this again. I definitely could do this again. The second thing I took from it was I guess I would say take my time. Mm-hmm. For the most part, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you take your time. You really don't got to be in a rush because you're just so excited to be there and be in this moment and things like that. I was like, all right, I've done it the first time. Now I can really take my time and enjoy it like I really want to.
That's interesting, though, even to walk away with that at 16. That's interesting because I would assume most 16, 17, 18-year-old guys don't think about that way. Hell, it's 30-year-old niggas still not.
Well, because it depends on. I guess it does depend on the man's mental. Because for the most part, with me, even till this day, if the woman doesn't climax, I don't feel like I've done my job in a way. You know what I'm saying? So the woman doesn't climax. When I climax, it doesn't feel as good. It just does not feel as good. It just don't feel like I earned it. In a sense.
That's interesting. It's interesting that you say that because a lot of people have that, have that Bernie Mac mentality that, I got mine, you better get yours. A lot of people go into sexual situations or come out of them with that mentality where they put the other person's needs on the back burner. So there's a lot to learn, you guys, as we kind of just transition through our sex life from the first time to the next time. It's every situation should be something that you should learn from, maybe take away from how I could be better next time, how I could do something different next time. And then some people don't do that. Some people get real stuck in their ways and in their ways of thinking. Sometimes the notion is that what you did for one person is going to work for the rest of your life. And then you never really upgrade your sexual situation. But that was interesting. So I talk about my first time very rarely, you guys, because I was crazy young.
I'll hear this.
Oh my God, I was crazy young. So I'm going to tell y'all, and it's just going to be out there in the streets. So it was 2 days before I turned 12. Like, that's crazy young. Crazy young, you guys. So I was one of those.
A whole 12?
2 days, and it was Thanksgiving Day.
Whoa! What a plan! What a plan! Oh, this gonna be great. I'll show y'all.
It was happenstance, but to go back to it, to be honest with you, I know a lot of people walk away from their first times like it wasn't good, it wasn't a good experience, whatever the case may be. Like mine was actually a good experience, but I did talk myself into that experience. I was a young shit talker, you guys. I've been talking shit my whole life. Okay, whatever y'all see now as T Gray, believe you me, I was like this when I was 11. Talk way too much shit. And I was the only girl, came up with an older boy cousin, so I was always around him, all his friends. I was the only girl and I was the youngest. So I had to keep up. So I talked myself into some shit with one of his best friends. Okay. Because I think I'm grown. I'm smelling myself. I got titties now. I'm just talking all types of shit.
Yeah, I got you.
And it was not necessarily a put up or shut up type of situation, because had I said no, he would have been like, it's fine, no problem. But he was like, hey, what was up with all that stuff you were saying? I was like, well, I guess I was so scared. I was so scared. I didn't even want to take off my coat.
You had sex in your coat. You had sex in your thermals. Just it's cold in here. What you talking about? I'm anemic. I am anemic. Can you give me my hat, please?
I was so nervous. And I remember what I had on. I remember everything. Like, I didn't want to take off my coat. But the guy was sweet, patient, gentle, caring, like didn't rush.
Did he have a jacket on too?
No. No.
It's okay. I'll put my bear on.
Move the process like any faster than what I allowed it to be.
Okay, that's cool.
Like, really, I swear it took hours. It was hours before it actually, happened.
Everybody done had dinner already.
Y'all don't even understand, because we started out, my cousin walked me to his house like we had dipped out of my family's house, went up the street to his house. My cousin in the living room done fell asleep, all kind of like we had been hours. When I tell y'all, it's hours. By the time it was light when we left and dark when we got back, and our family was so mad. Like they didn't know what happened. Just like, where y'all been? What y'all doing? Like they was
if they only knew.
they was done with us. But he was just it was just a really good experience. Like if my takeaway from it, if I had to say now what I learned from that is that men should take their time and women have to be okay to allow a guy to take his time. And if you're ever with a guy who moves you faster than your own pace, that's not the guy you need to be with. That's not the person you need to rock with. That's not, no, there should never be a thing of if I'm uncomfortable, you don't stop. You know what I mean? In my first time, I was not taken advantage of. I know people might say, well, because you was young, yes, you know, I knew what I was doing. I had full understanding of, you know what I mean, situation. And had, like I said, it was a situation where had I said, no, I'm uncomfortable, I don't want to, he would have been like, that's fine. That's okay. Let's just watch TV. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important that even as men become adult men and women become adult women, to understand that your limits don't have to be pushed. Crossing the line is not something that's supposed to be okay. And a lot of people are out here in sexual situations that people crossing the line all the time.
Yeah.
And really understand that this is not a good sexual situation. It's not okay. You know what I mean? So that was my
okay.
Takeaway.
All right. Well, I'm glad we both enjoyed our first time.
I'm
glad we both enjoyed.
So take me back to the time where sex really got good. Because then you got your first time, then you get to the point where you know what you're doing now.
I would say sex got good like around 23, 24. I would say got really good.
That's an interesting age to say. That's an interesting age to say. And I just say that because I'm an older chick now, and young dudes still don't know. But go ahead.
Yeah, all that. But I'm about to say the only reason is because when I was that young, I was dealing with older women. Mm-hmm. I was like, when I was 23, the girl that I was dating was like 32. You know what I mean? And then it kept going from so forth and so forth. It kept being like every woman that I would deal with would be years older than me. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I learned because of the older women that I dealt with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because maybe had I been dealing with younger women, I probably wouldn't know what what I was doing. Mm-hmm. But being the fact that I was dealing with older women, they were kind of saying exactly, they were really communicating, should I say, a lot more than younger women would about what they wanted and how they wanted it done. And they would ask me the same, vice versa. How would I want it? You know what I mean? So I say for the most part, around that age, that's when I really started to really know how to move my behind because basically because of the woman that, in a way, because of these older women kind of taught me. You know what I mean? In a way. And I guess in a way, too, we don't really know unless we learn from a woman. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's take a minute to talk about this shirt you got on, and it says "Comedy."
Oh, my shirt is comedy. Comedy is the remedy. Yes.
Yes.
And that's really like my brand and everything.
Yeah, it definitely can be the remedy for a lot of things.
Right.
Laughter heals.
Yes, it does. I feel like comedy shows could be like church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really like uplifting. I have this brand and everything. I say that comedy is the remedy, and I say comedy is the remedy because I feel like, through anything you may be going through, any struggles, pain, or doubts that you may be going through, comedy can really bring you out of a negative element into a positive if you want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I always feel like I hope that my comedy that night was always a good remedy for people, whatever they're going.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. So when I first started this platform, the reason why I aim to have comedians on this show is because I feel as if laughter can heal all things, including your sex life. And once you get people able to laugh about some of the sexual taboo, about some of the barriers that they have, or some of the things that they have going on, once you get people to laugh about it, it makes it easier for them to talk about it. And then I feel like there's always a strong place for humor in the bedroom, and a lot of people don't talk about that aspect also. Has comedy ever been a remedy for you in the bedroom?
In the bedroom, I've definitely had my definitely moments of laughter and with everything in the bedroom. I've made certain jokes sometimes, you know what I mean? So just to make the situation more comfortable in a way, you know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
if we can laugh in this sexual moment, then you know what I mean, we can really bond at any time, you know what I mean, and be joyful. So
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely utilized it during, before, and even after sex, just to have a whole real comfortable situation throughout. You know what I mean? So I would say yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. So, tell us. I would love to know
Mm.
your most funniest experience in the bedroom.
Funniest experience. Funniest experience. Um, I guess I was uh messing with this 30-year-old girl, and she was actually she was moved here from Milwaukee, and she moved away from her family and everything like that. And she had this, like, I don't know, she had this obsession with like this I don't know, this character out there that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it's like a cartoon or whatever. And then one day I kind of dressed up like the guy. I dressed up like the guy. I come into the room, and she's not even expecting it at all. You know what I mean? She's just sitting
Mm-hmm.
there, lying there, and she's just, when I come in, she's just dying laughing. And I wish I could say remember this guy's name, but she's dying laughing, and I'm imitating him the whole entire time. And even while we were having sex, I was imitating him, and she's like, I can't believe you did that for me. Like,
so
I did
so
it because I thought it was funny.
so it made the experience more enjoyable, you being dressed up as the character.
It made basically, like, in a way it was like role playing. You know what I mean? So in a way with
Mhm.
role playing, you're a different person.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You're a completely different person. And if you really get into that character and into the moment, then it could be something totally completely out of this world. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, you guys, if anybody follows this man on Instagram, you would see him dressing up as characters ain't nothing. So
Oh,
clearly,
it's
he's been
nothing.
doing this for a while.
Wow. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe he was doing this before the jokes even started getting slung around because
I
clearly that's
definitely,
just this way.
I definitely do communicate. That's something that I like to do.
Okay. So you showing up as the UPS man, you the plumber, you the doctor, you all them people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean, just to make it a little bit, because you don't want, when you're in a relationship, you don't want to get bored with sex. You know what I mean? You want to keep that alive.
right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right. Most
sometimes you got
definitely.
to take. So even though maybe your partner might be not ready for it and for the beginning or whatever, but
Mhm.
it's just something to look forward to when you bring him out of it.
So I'm gonna share this with you all. One of my role playing experiences, like I was in a relationship, we decided we were going to be the one night stand couple who met at the bar.
Oh, that's a good one. Always a good one.
Yeah, so he's supposed to already be at the bar drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and here I come. He supposed to supposed to book me at the
All
bar.
right, got you.
So we did the bar that was downstairs in the hotel that we had. So he's already down there. He's already drinking. I went up, changed, got all cuted up. I get downstairs and here go this chick. And I mean, this chick is all in my dude's face. I mean, all in, all in
But
his.
that makes it even better, though. That makes it good, though. That makes it like that really makes it a good
I
scene.
mean, just in his face to the max.
Uh huh.
And he's like, nah, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? And so he had like a stupid wad of money, y'all. So this was all part of the thing. so
that's what the girl saw. That's why she was in his face. Oh, okay.
So he had this stupid wad of money. And so when I come and I sit down, and he just like totally ignores whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, she says. She walking away giving me all kind of evil eye, stink eye. And so now he's macking me, you know what I mean? He's trying to get me, with the money. I just stand up there and I'm like, playing coy, hey, I'm not interested. I don't whatever. This lady comes over and was like, well, if she don't want you, I'll take you. I said,
you got a character. Like, hold the fuck up, all right? Cut. I got you.
Trying to throw it up. He just turned to me. He was like, why don't we continue this conversation upstairs? And I just trotted my little ass.
Or like, excuse me, excuse us. Excuse us.
Mess up my whole script. We got a script.
Right. You was messing. That is not your line. I got you.
It really should have been somebody yelling cut somewhere.
Fair enough.
And to be honest, like I really wish that maybe I had incorporated more role playing in my sex life. Like it would be a lot of fun.
It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. You can dress up as Barney tomorrow. You get right in there. You get some other, huh?
But yeah, I feel like it definitely being able to change your look when it comes to women. I believe definitely being able to change your look, being able to give your partner a little something different, it definitely keeps that spice and keeps them interested. And to be honest with you, sometimes it keeps them from stepping out because I could be whoever you want me to be. You know what I mean? I can be whoever you want me to be. You need a different look. You need to tell you not down what you want. What you want. Like I got a bra that'll work with me. I got wigs that'll work with me. Like whatever it is, I can be what you need. Go onto the wall and pick somebody.
And at the end of the day, and women don't understand. I get men excited. That get us excited too.
It definitely
the fact that you about to venture out and try something new for us. We like, oh, we act like we think we actually is getting a new woman that night. Like, oh my God, she bringing a friend over.
But you know what though? I think people lose sight of that part. Like keeping things spicy or adding excitement, being spontaneous. Sometimes people look at it as a lot of work. They don't want to put all that work in. They don't want to do, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do it. Like they don't want to go that extra mile. But I would just tell you all that sometimes it can be the small things that really amp up your sex life. It doesn't have to be a full-on production. You're not shooting your first porno. It doesn't have to be, lights, camera, action for everything. But it doesn't mean that you can't take a small idea and really make it something spectacular, make it something super intimate, make it something super nasty, whatever way you want it to go, and just really engage your partner in a new light to really just add that excitement, keep them engaged, keep them wondering, keep them, whenever you bust in the room, I don't know what you was dressed as, but because you tall, everything tall niggas do is funny. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're right, because some people do get into these relationships and sex starts to become a chore instead of like something a bond between two people. You know what I mean? So definitely you want to keep that involved because you don't want at the end of the day you don't want your partner to venture off to somewhere else.
And that's important, you guys. He used such a major word, chore.
Yeah.
Once sex becomes a chore, that should be your immediate stop sign. That should be your immediate time to say, you know what, let me take a second, let me dial this back, let me reevaluate, and what can I do that this is not work? If you're coming into the bedroom and you're tired before you get there, you dread going in the door, you don't feel like getting on top of the dick. He all with the elbow out here because he tired of fucking like, nah, like it's not work. It's not work. And if you look at it as such, then you need to understand, hey, something's not right here. Something is amiss with my sex life. In those times, www.sextalkwithtgray.com. I have sex advice for you guys, okay? And merch. But sex advice first, and then buy my shit. So we are here, you guys, on Take It Back Tuesday with Rey Gibbs. Is there a time in your sexual life that you wish you could take that shit back? That you wish you could just wipe it off?
Yeah, wipe that shit clean. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, wish I could just be like, never. Why did I even the fact that you got my handsome dick out here? You have a lot of nerve, and you are very lucky to even get this. Yes, there was definitely a time. A friend of mine, he was dating this girl, and she had a friend. You know what I mean? And um and I seen like she seemed okay. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I'll keep her entertained. For you, my man. She wanted to come around. She just wanted to hang around a lot. Then one night we went drinking and we went out and went back to our place, and things were getting hot and heavy, and oh my goodness, it was kind of dark. You know what I mean? It was very dark. And and then we begin having sex, and I'm touching her. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And I'm touching her. Everyone, like, what is this going on? You know what I mean? We know what happens. And I had to like stop and turn the light on, because I'm like, what is going on? I mean, this girl was so hairy. I mean, everywhere. On chest, stomach, back. I mean, everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. Oh my gosh. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, I'm sick. I don't feel well. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I was just,
wow.
Oh my goodness. She was just a hairy mess. And I'm looking like, girl, you need to hit somebody about that in spa or something. Because it was.
What I want to know, was it like smooth, like baby hair laid down? Or was it like Uncle Eddie's?
Yeah, it's like a little furry. Yeah, it's like a little furry animal. It's like a little furry hamster that I touched and didn't know was there. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, what is that? It was a hamster. I didn't know. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it.
Everywhere. That's hilarious.
Oh, everywhere. It was just
some wax in your life or something.
And there was another time too.
I want to have enough hair that I got to get my back waxed. Like that's work.
Yeah, back. I mean, just I couldn't believe it. Oh my goodness!
Half primate. That's what you're trying to tell us. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Like in my mind, you should have warned me before we even. And the crazy thing, I thought to myself, no wonder she turned up the lights so fast. Like, that's a good question. Do you have sex with the lights on?
Do I?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So here's where I'm at with the lights.
Okay, listening.
I'm trying to create a vibe, and the lights being low is necessary for the scene, and I'm gonna have the lights low. But I mean, do they gotta be off? Nah, I'll fuck you with the lights on. I'll fuck you in broad daylight. Shit, it's the same. This nigga's gonna look the same. It's gonna look the same. And even if I fuck you in the night, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm gonna fuck you again in the daylight. Like either way it goes, you gonna see this. Either way it goes.
I mean, some people have a preference. So you'd be surprised.
No, so I understand the preference. I don't like pitch dark.
Oh yeah, you can't see nothing. Yeah.
No. And I'm definitely not doing pitch dark on no new joint. No.
Yeah.
No.
Me, I have colorful light.
No. Yeah,
that's what I have. I have different lights, colors, and
right. But if it's a new person, no, I need to see you.
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, I need to see you. That's just real talk. All the colorful lights and shit, don't get me wrong, that shit is nice. But from jump, before I hit this switch right here, before we start clicking these little light buttons,
Yeah.
no, I need to see this thing because I think a lot of women don't do necessary checks. And when I
Okay.
say what's necessary, ladies, we need to be lifting up these balls. You need to see what the fuck's going on. You need to be all up and down the shaft. If the dude's not circumcised, goddamn it, pull that skin down.
You
See
be
what?
all up and down there. I agree. You know what? You need to be all up and down the shaft, all on the. You need to be right. You're definitely right. That's what. Listen to her, ladies. Ladies, listen. You need to check. You need to go down and smell, sniff. You need to get under there.
Hey, I'm serious as shit.
Hell yeah, do a taste check, all that.
We get into these situations, and then, to be honest with you, people disregard the things that could be on the skin. So let's just speak from a health standpoint.
Okay, I'm listening.
If a guy has genital warts or is currently having a herpes outbreak and it just so happens to be in that area, how would you know? If you just hit the lights and you just start fucking, how would you know? You wouldn't. Get down there and look at that shit. Crabs still exist, bitches. They still exist. How would you know? The nigga just come out the bathroom, he's scratching. How you know he not scratching because there's something down there or just because he had an itch? You don't know. You need to check. So when you get up from the bed itching, scratching, and you don't know why, nah, you need to check. You need to check. And I think that people forget that part. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with getting caught up in the passion, getting caught up in the moment. So there's a way to do it, ladies and gentlemen, without being found out. This is what T. Gray does. And I'm telling you, I'm smooth with it. Works every time. So I stand my person either in the middle of the room or near the bed. And baby, I just want to touch you. I just want to feel you. I just want to kiss you from head to toe. Whatever smooth ass shit takes me from head to toe, rub you, touch you, lick you, kiss you, any of these words will work. But my ass is on examine. My ass is checking this shit out, front, back, side to side. It's pleasurable. God damn it. I'm looking to see what's going on.
Can I be honest? Me, I actually like shaved down a little bit because I wanted to be extra. I want you to.
And I appreciate it.
And, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I shave it down a little bit so you can really see me. You know what I'm saying? In my entirety. I like being. You know what I mean? I like
for my person to be on display, but not because I want to see you. No, I want to see you. I want to see that there's maybe nothing to the naked eye that I should be cautious about. I want to see that you took your time to clean yourself properly. Because a lot of these people get ready to fuck, but sir, you need to go back in there and wash your ass one more time.
And
sir, you need to go back in there because you smell like ammonia for some reason. I don't know why you come out the shower smelling like ammonia, but you need to know something else needs to happen.
You make a great point, and that was the point I was going to say to you, because that's the only thing that I do check for women is about how a woman smells, and that literally lets me know if a woman is one taking care of herself. Because just because you smell doesn't necessarily mean you have a disease or an STD. It could be what you eat, if you're drinking every day. It could be what you consume in your body that's making it like that. Or it could be the other thing too. So a lot of times is one thing I would say is definitely you want to smell a woman. You definitely want to see what. And the one way I know any ladies don't know probably like this, but one way men we do smell y'all, we don't even have to have sex with y'all to smell y'all. What we do is we go in after y'all come home from the bathroom. And once y'all come after the bathroom, we can smell everything that you just.
Oh, let me tell you.
That you can just word is born. I was like, okay, she good.
Hilarious. I came in the bathroom after one of my coworkers the other day. Boy, I was like, you know what? Somebody need to help her. Somebody need to help her. And I was so hoping.
Or you need to. Like, girl, this is my doctor. You should go see my doctor.
I mean, it's very real though. So you guys, the smell, the odor, if you're unfamiliar, if you don't know, okay, that's bacterial vaginosis. Bacterial vaginosis can be brought on by sexual activity, but there doesn't have to be any sexual activity for that to happen.
Is that the fishy smell?
Yes, it is simply the woman's pH balance being thrown off. But there are so many things that can throw us off. If you're a sensitive woman, it could be the soaps you use, it could be your shaving cream. Like you said, we're not drinking enough water. If you're one of them women who want to lay around in your drawers all day and you ain't wash your ass 2-3 days in a row, y'all, it can definitely also be that your partner does have more than one partners and has now introduced other bacteria into your system, or their own bacteria, or bacteria from their mouth. Whatever the case may be, it's the bacteria is off. So then it causes that odor. This is one thing that dudes, I don't even know if y'all know, but y'all should. So y'all be so excited, be so amped up for that WAP. But here's what I've learned recently. A lot of chicks that got that WAP, you get started and everything is fine. And then the odor doesn't come until later, like during the sex. Like, that's odd to me. I don't know
Yeah, that's
why.
like a
I don't know why, but
that is.
we're gonna research this shit some more and see why is it like that. That it takes like, by the time you about 4-5 strokes in, and then once the fluid begins to matriculate on down, then okay, here's now the odor, but then it fucks you up, of course, because you mid-stroke.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It definitely happened. And then at that time, you got to pretend like you came. You know, you got to be like, I came. Oh my gosh, we got here.
Because niggas out here faking it in these streets, lady.
Oh, what? That's one of the jokes on stage. Men, I'll let you know, ladies. Men, we do fake it. If something is wrong or if it's not good, I will. Oh my gosh. That was great. Let me get the hell out of here. This was terrible. Let me get the hell. I'm going home and taking a shower. I'm jerking off.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever told the woman after the fact, like, yo, this was not a good experience?
I didn't tell her that same evening or that same day. I told her maybe a couple of days later. Like I never say it like I would just say something like I didn't really enjoy it. And then, then there's usually questions like, what can I do or what can we do? Or, I'm like, I don't know if we can do anything. I think there's no hope this one. But sometimes it really got to be about into the person and see how, the person is in when the person is intimate, how they are too, because sometimes a person can turn you off during sex. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've really been turned off during sex just by what a person was saying during sex. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell are you? What is this? Like,
but do you tell a person these are the things I like to hear versus what I don't want to hear?
Yeah, I've done that too, and that didn't work. And I told them, I just need you to be quiet. Turn some music on, and let's just be quiet. Let's not talk. Oh, let me just do all the talking. Let me just do all the talking, and you yes and no. You yes and no. That's what you do. Yes and no. Give me a little daddy here and there. So we need. So we need right now.
Very, very minimal on the woman's part. So
that's not all. That's not necessary. But this with the that was just like I was like, please shh this.
What was she saying? Was she being too aggressive?
It wasn't even aggressive. It was just. She was just very. She was just kind of a geek. You know what I mean? Kind of like a nerd. You know what I'm saying? And she was just saying real nerdy stuff, and it was just like, please be quiet. Don't you say another word. You about one. I'm about to laugh. Like you laugh, I'm about to laugh, but stop. Don't say nothing else.
That's like, funny. I can't even imagine of what I could say in the bedroom that would come off as nerdy, but I
Yeah.
can guarantee you all the next time I have sex, I'm going to try. I
Yeah.
can guarantee you all that I've got to find
And
something.
then it's not even about what you say. Also, it's also how you say it
How you
too.
say it. How you say
Right.
it. Most
And
definitely.
and then and she's black and she sounded like a white girl, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what is this? Who are you? Like
Hilarious.
it was
Hilarious.
just. I'm trying to
So
think of like one of the scenarios. It's just like,
it's okay. So take me
huh?
to we're going to talk our top 5 experiences, you guys. It is Take It Back Tuesday. So we're taking it back to the good, the bad, the ugly of our sex lives. Take me to your top 5 experiences. Don't got to be names, just the experience. Top 5. If
Okay.
you have 5 top experiences that you could
Yeah.
recall.
I would. Yeah. I'll give you top five. One. Not gonna say no names or anything, but I was working in New York and I was messing with a young lady out there, and she was older than me, and she had this obsession with baby oil that you would not believe. I mean, we literally used the whole bottle, and like she would have like it was great though. I was it was a total different experience. It was like it was like this most sensual experience before you even had sex with the baby oil because you're slipping everywhere.
Mhm, mhm.
And she even had plastic laid down and the cover on plastic. It was great. I was just very, very I don't even think I would know how to do it because she would have had to show me again because I might mess it up because I need training with that much baby oil because it was amazing. And she was just like, no, just sit still. And it was great. It was great. Very blew my mind. Another one was uh again, she was older. I would say she was a BBW.
Okay.
She was a BBW, and she was just very sensual. I just never. Even though she was a BBW, I didn't. She didn't feel like one. She was the lightest BBW in the world. It was amazing. It was very amazing. Um, my first time. Well, my first no, my not my first time. The girl I was having my first, but we were a girl. We were a couple at the time.
Mhm, mhm.
She
The white
the white girl. Yes,
girl.
the white girl. Yes, the white girl.
Somebody has
Um,
said you were lucky when you were
yeah,
telling that story. The
yeah,
comment didn't come up on screen, but somebody said you was lucky.
yeah, the white girl. So, um, she she kind of was like obsessed with porno. She was very obsessed with porno, and she would want to watch porno and have sex, and then she would want to perform whatever the girl was doing during, and it was very,
What
it
kind
was,
of girl?
yeah, it was just very. We would have sex. She's like, okay, all right, you stay switched. Okay, here we go. So they're like, look at you, like, you know what I mean? So that was
That's
very,
probably her calling.
huh?
So that was probably her calling.
I guess so. I guess so. So that was cool. That was very cool. I would say my second would be my ex before my last ex. Me and her were very into role playing. We did it a lot of role playing. Even to a point where it could be her coming from right off from work, and we're soon as she gets home from work, we already into role playing. Like I'm the next door neighbor, and I'm like, hey, and you know what I mean. And she's just getting in from work, and she's like, well, my man isn't here, and you want to come inside? And, we just
Mhm.
it was very exciting because we constantly role play. We would role play on the train. We would role play like I could she
We
could
could
be coming
go
home from work.
anywhere.
Right.
I
She
think
could be
so.
Right. She'll be coming home from work, getting off the train, and I'm supposed to be picking her up, but I'm really just driving by, and I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm hollering at her in my car. You know what I mean? It literally was that exhilarating. That's how intense we were with it. Um, my number one, uh, I would say when I was 19. When I was 19, my boy's little sister's teacher. It was hilarious. She was older than me, and she was just a tutor, should I say, tutoring me a lot. Just like she was like, don't do this, and do you want to really know? Do you know how to make a woman squirt and da 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 da? I can show you. And she was just she was into girls and guys, and she was just very open with trying to show me everything about a woman. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was very.
You've had some really great experiences. Like,
I've had quite some experiences. Yes, not crazy over the top lot, but just yes, some experiences that I've
but just
gotten.
some that legitimately will increase your knowledge base. I
Right.
feel like if we're not learning from some of these experiences that we have, then what the
Then
fuck?
fuck.
You're
Right. Then why were we even doing
not
it in
taking
the first
nothing
place?
away from it that can improve your own work that you're doing. What you doing?
Right.
You can't be having great sex.
Right.
You
Exactly. Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that is, first off, I wish both of them women were still around just to
Right.
tap in with me one time. This
Right.
first time girl and the chick when you was 19, they
Yeah.
could just come in the show. We could just start schooling
Yeah. Right. I
Yeah,
think the girl that was they both of them are married. Both of
okay.
them are married now.
Well,
Yeah.
happy husbands. Yay.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
husbands. And
Right.
hopefully they're
Right.
still fucking the way that they did when they were young.
Hopefully
And they
they are.
haven't turned into prudes who aren't giving their husbands any ass. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but so you guys, I'm gonna take you back. When I wrote this question down, I was like, dang, now I'm gonna have to give 5. I don't even know if I got 5, but let me see what I can get y'all. So my I'll start with my number one experience was the first time that I rode a dude and squirted.
Mm.
Like, it happened like 12 times back to back, to the
Shit.
point that
That you had to
at
go to
that
the hospital.
no. But at that point in the sexual experience, essentially I had bottomed out, because that point was maybe more than halfway through. We had already been fucking for a minute that day,
Right.
and I had bottomed out. Like, I had come as much as I could possibly come. There was absolutely nothing left out of me. I was, how Stella got her groove back, crying. I was crying, you guys, because the
Yeah.
pleasure was so intense. And
Yeah.
then to a woman who's a squirter, like, a lot of women might do it. I don't know if they do it like that to the point that they're on empty. And
Mm.
so when that happened, and it was just like back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back, back. I was like, what the like, I thought I was gonna die.
Mm.
So even
Yeah.
though it wasn't like a roller coaster ride, just of emotion, of pleasure, of intensity, of sensuality. It was phenomenal. So that's my number one.
Okay.
I feel like my top 5 probably all with the same person.
We're gonna go
That's
back
my
to
number
that in a minute. We're gonna go back to that. Go ahead.
one.
Leave
My
all that right there.
second one was when I very first started getting into being tied up. Um, I knew that I fix your face.
I
I
have not done that one.
So I knew that I
Oh, I gotta
enjoy
try that.
watching it like in porn. And so once I finally got up enough nerve to really try it, same partner actually who bottomed me out, but when I got up enough nerve to really try it, it was a fantastic experience. It was something that, like, for me, it's going to be down in my history books. I'm gonna tell my grandchildren of this moment because it was phenomenal. Um, to be taken to another place in your sexual plane, to be taken to another place mentally, is big. Is really, really big when the sex becomes more mental. And it gave me such a firm understanding of what people go through when they have their fetishes. You know what I mean? When they're so engulfed in this one type of experience, because it takes you past yourself. Like, you think you know what you like, you think you know what you're doing, and then you have an
Wow.
experience. It's like, oh, bitch, you ain't been doing shit. So that's probably my number two. Um, I will put my first time as number five. I will do that
Oh,
because
the
what
squirtulation?
you said? What?
The squirtulation, that's number 5?
No, no, no. My first time, period. When I
Okay.
lost my virginity, I will put that at my number
Oh,
five.
that's number 5. Gotcha. Okay.
That would
Okay.
be my number five. So
All right.
I'm on three and four. I don't know, you guys. I ain't even gonna lie. Three and four is kind of hard.
Mm.
Um, three and four is kind of hard. So I would say number three. Y'all, I was kind of young when this happened, but this was the first time when I got into voyeurism, and so I was outside in a public place having
We said
sex.
warriorism?
Voyeurism, like I was,
Voyeurism.
yeah. So that is people
Okay.
who like to watch or people who like to be watched.
Okay, that's something
So
different.
then, yeah, so then typically it is in a public arena or where other people can see you visibly,
All right.
and you don't stop. You know what I mean? Even if people come by, even if people can see you, you keep going.
Okay.
So my very first time in that arena was outside on a not a park bench, but like, you know how you at the park and you got the grill area, you got the tables and chairs. We was on the table getting it, and people was walking past. It was nighttime, it was dark, but people was walking past, people seeing it. So it was like, and it just amped up. It just amped it up even
Okay.
higher.
Okay.
Um, number four, y'all. I don't know about number four. I don't know. I feel like I need something next to feel that experience. Like, I don't think it's come yet. I don't think it's come yet. I don't
If
have
that
it
well, if
so
that's the
far.
case, then I guess you would have to put your first time as number 4.
No, I don't want to because I feel like it's something else.
You ain't fulfilled that 4 yet, but you just gonna
No,
know we ain't gonna put it there because something else is supposed to be there.
there's something else that's supposed to be right there. Please. And let me tell you why it's probably a little bit difficult. To be honest with you all, I used to be a smoker. So I used to
Mm,
smoke weed like every single day. And a lot of that sex, I don't fucking remember.
shit, damn.
That's just, I do not remember.
Oh, I remember.
Maybe. Oh, okay, so we have a question. Are you
Oh, here you
both
go.
religious? This is just out of curiosity. Did the whole no sex before marriage, total abstinent thing play a role at all? Or do you think people should try to be abstinent till marriage, even in this day and age? That's a fantastic question. So I'm gonna tackle your question first. Let me maybe say that my number four is probably with my ex-girlfriend. I was with a woman for 5 years. We had a lot of fun. I would just slide her whole life, my whole 5 years in that number four slot. But
Mm.
so abstinence before marriage.
Ain't gonna
Um,
work. Ain't gonna work about work. Because only reason I wouldn't say ain't gonna work, but the thing about abstinence before marriage, I feel like, I mean, we have to know if we are compatible in that realm because if we get to a place where we wait till we're married and we have sex and it's terrible, and I know that you can try to work and build on some things, but if certain things can't be, not to say certain things can't be, but if certain things can't be fixed, like if it can't be, if certain things aren't really compatible, if she somehow doesn't like it or can't never ever take or doesn't want to, you know what I mean? It can, or she doesn't have a sex drive like you have a sex drive, or vice versa. You know what I mean? A lot of things can make things kind of fall, and not no sex compatibility is definitely a relationship breakable to a lot of people. So in a way, I think you, not to say you have to if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, of course. But I would just say I would encourage it before, because especially if we're going to be dating for years. I mean, if to have to have no sex, right, before marriage, we literally have to be dating for like maybe 6 months, and then I'm putting a ring on your finger, because there's no way. Because people that are in relationships, they can go 2 to 3 years before I ask you to marry me, or so on and so forth. But to be able to go that long without having sex, years and years on end, I, I don't know if it can be done.
Let me jump in.
Uh,
So this is where I stand on that, you guys. And I'm going to tread lightly as I answer this, because I know when it comes to religion, people are sensitive. But I would say this. Um, According to most holy, or most religious texts, the concept of abstinence before marriage is supposed to be the a blessing to that particular union. Okay, you should be saving yourself for your husband. um the thing about that aspect is, when this text was created, when these books were written, when these rules were put down, sex was not the same as what it is now. Marriage was not the same as what it is now. Even marriage in those times were more for business. They were more for building your land, increasing your ownership. That's why women, when you got married, you also came with your father's part of your father's farm and his part of his goats and this, that, and the third, because marriage was the business of increasing ownership of land and things like that. It wasn't let's get married for love. It wasn't that. If you were a woman who had not been soiled, you know what I mean, your cherry hadn't been popped, you were more valuable, because you seemingly would have bore children better. That was the notion. um Sex then, when those rules were created, is not what sex is now. So I'm not going to say people are wrong for what they believe. If that is what you believe and that is what you feel is ordained by your God, your whatever you choose, and you believe that that's how your union will be blessed, I would never tell you that you're wrong for that. I can only say that you have to know whether or not you're strong enough to stay in a relationship for love, if love is present, if sex is also not present, or if it's not pleasing. You gotta really know your limits. How do you know your limits? The same thing he said, you can marry somebody who is on the outside or inside everything else that you want. But once that goes, or if you find out that that's not pleasing unto you, then what? Are you continuing to stay in that dynamic and in that relationship to be pleasing to who your God is?
yeah.
There's a lot of misconceptions that come from religious texts. And here's why I say it's misconceptions. There's so much removed and missing from the religious text that you have, that you don't have the full story. I don't care what religion it is, I don't care what book it is. Guess what? You don't have all the pages. So you're basing what your outlook is based on only what you're given, or only what you feel. So at the end of the day, pray about that shit. Pray about it. Pray
Yeah.
about it for yourself. Ask for answers for yourself. And if the answer that you get back is to be abstinent until marriage, then do that. And I hope that your union is blessed. If the answer that you get back is serve these hoes this dick, then serve them
then
hoes that
then
dick.
drop off them draws, dog.
You have to do what you feel is going to be okay with you and your God. I'm not going to tell you that if you have sex before marriage that your union isn't going to be blessed. It's plenty of people who are blessed, pastors, bishops, whomever, hierarchy. And the reason why you rarely hear abstinence preached in churches because everybody was fucking before they got married.
I
Let's
mean, I
just
keep it
call a
real. The
spade
way
a
I feel
spade.
like nothing has changed. Everybody was probably fucking
Right.
back then too. Like at the end of the
So
day. So
I know that when it comes to, again, these religious texts, if you were a woman who had sex prior to or whatever, and then sex was always controlled by the men, again, these are not the same times that we were living in.
right.
This is just not. This is not 1300 BC. This is not those times. Sex has evolved. People have evolved. Emotions have evolved. There are so many things of life now that you'll never see in your religious text because they did not exist then. So, again, pray about it for yourself. I don't think that it's taboo. I don't think it's anything wrong with waiting. I've been in a relationship where I had to wait a few months before I got it too, and it to me it helped. But again, if you choose to wait until you're married, be ready for whatever the outcome is. The notion is that if you love me, it's supposed to outweigh this. The reality of it is 2021. That's not the case.
No.
That's not the case. Love is not a band-aid, you guys. Love is not Neosporin. You can't put cream in a band-aid on your broken relationships and expect that you're gonna seal that shit with a kiss from the Lord. It doesn't. And if you choose to stay in an unhappy situation in the name of God, I don't think God put us here to be unhappy. That's just the reality of it. When people say, oh, well, we're going to follow what the Bible says, we're never going to get divorced, or we're going to stay in these bad marriages because we should. No, that's not what it said. That's not what the book said. People take their interpretations and let it be whatever they want it to be, as opposed to
Mhm.
what the verbiage actually says. So
Mhm.
again,
And people take people. I feel
pray
like
about
people a lot of time take verses out of the Bible that they want to use against you or whatever have you. I can't lie, not to bring up something crazy, but just crazy because my mother would always come to me like the Bible says, honor thy mother. It says, and honor thy mother and father. But I'm like, 'cause I had to read the Bible. I was forced to read that all the time. I'm like, in Corinthians, it also says that the mother and father should not anger or provoke the child. It says that in the Bible. Like, you want to be honored, you should not anger or provoke your child. So as much as
Mhm,
you want to put this verse on me, make sure we put all of it out. Because
mhm.
people like to use certain things in the Bible to try to control you or control how you think. But when you
Yes,
actually read the Bible for yourself, sometimes you look like, oh, this is
this
people
is what
using
it
the Bible.
actually is.
It's
This is what
exactly,
it
and
really means.
it just shows you how people like use that book to control you. That's just like they use
Yes.
that book to control the slaves and so forth and so forth.
But you know what though? And people do not want to have that conversation, you guys. I know we done got off into some other shit, but it's the reality though. People do not want to have that conversation. If you try to have that conversation with a person who has faith in a certain religion, if you try to say to them, hey, this is what the book actually says, and you challenge whatever their notion is, oh, it's a problem. It's a problem to no end. Even with paying tithes, there's certain verse that they use to enforce the entire whole paying tithes. But the story behind paying tithes was only for one community at one time for that one purpose for in that moment. It wasn't something that was meant to be continual. It was applied in that story at that one time, at that one moment. Yet church is $1 billion business,
Yes, it
tax-free
is. Yes,
business.
it is.
You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
notion that now I have to give you 10% of my income in order for me to receive blessings.
Blessings is beyond me.
I don't
Beyond,
know about
I
y'all,
don't believe
but I
I.
don't know what church Beyonce and Jay-Z belong to. But I can assure
Uh,
you that ain't no
yeah,
church getting 10% of that. They
nobody
seem to
is.
be pretty blessed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
I
So,
ain't never seen Floyd Mayweather go to church. Y'all seen him in church? He
right,
seems pretty blessed.
right.
I
At the end
mean,
of the
I
day,
can go down a long list, and I'm again, I try to be cautious with what I say, but when it comes to even with the
mm,
sex thing, you don't hear abstinence preached in the church. Why? I bet I could stop every person on the street. I could stand outside of a mega church and ask every 20,000 members, did they ever talk about sex? Did they ever talk about sex? Did they ever talk about sex? The answer is always going to be no. Wanna know why? Because all these pastors is fucking. All these bishops is fucking. All these elders is fucking. They fucking like shit.
yeah.
They fucking their wives. They fucking the choir directors. They fucking the usher board. They fucking the choir. They
Mm-hmm.
fucking like, come on, man. They choose to leave these things out. So when it comes to religion, you guys, when it comes to what you believe with your God and your sex life, that's between you and your God.
And
That's the
usually
bottom
the
line. You
usually
choose to be
the women that are the most religious.
be
Well,
abstinent. If you choose to fuck your life away, then goddamn it, fuck it till you can't fuck no more. Find out what you like. How
mm,
is it when you come into these situations and then now you got to figure out how to please a person when you don't even know how to please yourself? And then you got the versions who want to push the envelope all the goddamn time. Look, stop playing these games. Make your mind up on what you think is best for you in your life. Make your
mm,
mind up on that. Pray on that. Your answer will come to you. And if this is one thing that I know about God, if I don't know nothing else, when you pray and when you ask if he has an answer for you, he gonna send it to you quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I don't care if you call your God Jehovah. I don't care if you call him Allah. I don't care whatever name you choose to give him. Whoever this nigga is, he's gonna send you that answer quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry. It's up to you to listen. It's up
well,
to you to listen. So that is pretty much that. With your abstinence, it's up to you. Pray about it. Make your mind up on what you want to do and how that's going to resonate between you and your God. If you want to wait, then wait and don't let nobody make you feel fucked up about waiting. And if you want to hoe out here, then you hoe out here and don't you let nobody make you feel fucked up about being no hoe neither. Do what
mm,
works for you and what you're going to be able to rest with. And when you feel like you're going to get to them pearly gates, what you got to answer for. That's it. That's
yeah.
my preacher moment. That's my preacher moment. I'm going to pass this.
Uh,
Y'all drop some coins in it because
I got you.
all assigned T Gray. I get my church road. I'm going to get
uh,
my church road. This has been such a laid back show today, you
uh,
guys. It's laid back. But
yes,
I think it's such an interesting point. I'm going to bring um a religious person on soon. There's a lady that I know who actually teaches classes to couples who are struggling with how to apply their sex life and their religious beliefs in one mode. And what one thing that she does say is that what's definitely in the Bible is that anything that's agreed upon between the man and the woman in the marriage bed, that's okay. So any kind of freak shit you agree to do between you and yours, it's
that's all
all
that
right.
matters. Yeah.
But a lot of people have um these notions on what's not acceptable and what shouldn't be acceptable, and this is wrong. You're gonna go to hell if you do this, you're gonna go to hell if you do that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk
Mm,
about it, you guys, and I can't wait to get up in here. We're gonna talk about it. We going to uncover it all. She's got the verses to back it up. Since you all like verses out here, she has the verses to back it up. So we gonna make that happen. But we done kick this thing off a whole 10 minutes past. See, this is when people start bringing religion on the show.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And
Good.
I get a little excited, you guys, because it's so touchy.
Right.
It's so touchy to me.
Gotcha.
But Rey Gibbs, thank you for coming
Yes.
through.
Yeah,
Sex
T.
Talk
Great.
with Rey.
Hey, dope. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. I love though. Yeah.
You make me laugh so much. You make me laugh so much. And I said, you know what? Let me ask this brother to come do my show because you crack me up.
I'm happy
And
that I do.
you do. You're funny. You're funny. And
Appreciate
I
that.
know a lot of times when it comes to the skits or when it comes to the TikTok or stuff like that, I
Mm.
know that a lot of people get caught up in who's a comedian for real and who's not. And
Right.
who's doing stage time or who's just doing these videos. But I know that it all has a lane.
Right.
Um, but just for me and me being kind of a new fan, I appreciate your consistency on both sides. Your
Yeah.
consistency in being on the stage and actually giving something people legitimately to laugh at, and then your consistency in putting out this content because it is still a challenge for a lot of people. It's a lot of comedians that are just now getting into it, and
Mm.
so to be able to master it, to be able to share it, and just really bring these laughs, yo, thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. A lot of people don't even notice, but you try to work hard, you try to stay consistent. And one thing I always say, just focus, positivity, and patience. Keep those three
Most,
things in mind, and you'll move. You'll go far.
most definitely. Most
Mm.
definitely. So, real quick, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Rey Gibbs. That's ReyGibbs. Rey Gibbs. ReyGibbs. If you're in Jersey, definitely follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of good shows out here. I do have more own 3 rooms that I throw every single month. I have every other Thursday, and I have two once a month that I do on Saturdays and Sundays, which is real dope. So it's a real dope experience that I throw. So you definitely want to come out and check me out. Hopefully, I'll be coming to a neighborhood near you soon. So that's just my next venture or my next journey, just to really start traveling and get out, to a lot of other states and really start working this thing out. So, but that's where definitely you can find me. You can also follow me on Cash App. That's on Ray G3. Cat $Ray G3. Follow me on Cash App. I take donations all the time.
Ain't
Uh,
nothing with that.
man,
Ain't nothing.
definitely.
But thank you. Thank you so much for being on Sex Talk with T Gray. Thank you for taking it back with me, you guys, for taking back Tuesday. We have talked first times, worst times, funny times, our top 5 times. We done took it back to everything. So
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. I hope that you all definitely walked away with something positive today. In the vein of taking it back, I want for people to remember when they had these great times. I want them to remember their best experiences. I want you to remember your first time. I want you to remember all the things that you should learn. And then I want you to get your partner and wear they ass out. Okay. Don't forget that no matter where you are in your sexual journey right now, there's still things to learn. 20 and 30 years from now, I still want you to be able to have a take it back Tuesday and take it back to the shit you're going to do tomorrow. Still explore, still add new things, still keep it spicy, still keep it fun, still keep it spontaneous. And if you don't know, if you need some ideas, if you want to dive deeper into your intimacy, then damn sure hit my website, www.sextalkwithtgray.com. You can see what I have going on. You can get you some sex advice. You can grab you some merch, and let's get it together, you guys. Hit me up. I'll be right here again next Tuesday, 9 to 10 p.m. with WEMS Radio. I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.
Hey now, bye. Thanks for having me, T.